And we're live.
Hands up. Don't shoot, buddy. Please. I'm just an innocent jogger.
Cardio American.
Black man can't even jog anymore. What the heck? Hey, everybody. Welcome. Just a little side humor between me and my infamous, I'd say, yeah, that fits. Infamous sound engineer, Soder. So, and
Well, thanks,
what?
buddy. No, I'm nobody.
Nobody. I said infamous.
Oh,
Infamous.
isn't that the opposite of famous?
No. Infamous is like better than famous, buddy.
Oh,
Infamous.
okay.
Yeah. Infamous means that you are well known. It might not mean that you're well known for good things,
Okay.
like
right.
boomerang and things like that. But you are well known across the interwebs for
Oh gosh, now I'm really scared.
for being the youngest boomer on earth.
Shoot, you're probably right about that.
Yeah, but hey, man, it's been a crazy week, an absolutely crazy week, and it's weird now because now I feel like we're starting to have this separation, right? You're starting to see some states go their own way. It was weird because for a long time they were saying we're all in, huh?
SIGTOW, states going their own way.
Yes, states going their own way. We leave it to you. But it was like we're all in this together. But then I'm seeing buddies of mine down in Texas that are going back to work, and they're all but open. So every state's kind of going their own way, SIGTOW, and in our state, our lovely state of Minnesota. Yeah, I don't know.
Businesses are getting nasty calls.
Yeah.
From Keith Ellison saying, we're going to fine you thousands of dollars a day.
That's insane, man. That is insane. So hopefully, I didn't see Tim's response. Is he going to come in and explain this buffoonery to us?
He has not replied or seen that question yet.
But yeah, somebody.
But I have been watching the House feeds, and they just about 15 minutes ago went into recess. I don't know how long that's going to be, though. It could be an hour for dinner or a couple hours. Maybe he has some meetings. So I hope he comes. But
yeah, that might be a little bit tough. So we actually caught the man working on a Sunday. Isn't that fantastic? It's great to see our elected leaders working sometimes.
Working and not passing what needs to be passed, or bogging it down so much that nothing else can be done.
I tell you what, the one thing that I took solace in throughout this whole thing is that if we're at home, that our elected officials were at home. Like I figure if they're at home, they can't hurt us. But boy was I wrong.
You thought they were at home? No, they were out voting. They were voter Americans.
I mean, I don't know. It bothers me. It's like, you guys, now you're voting from home. Like, you won't even like you'll screw us from a distance, like long distance screwing. That's just rude. Absolutely rude. They didn't even bother making the 2-hour trip into St. Paul to do it. They do it from a distance. So it's that's frustrating to me. So I'm doing a little bit of venting. So anyway, hopefully you guys are living in states that trust you to be adults and to make good, solid decisions. And they believe that you had a great kindergarten teacher that taught you how to properly wash your hands, because apparently 90% of America doesn't know how to wash their hands properly or wear a mask, for that matter. Did you know about this?
I know that Governor Walz in his executive orders has said that people need, or he doesn't say they need to. He says, we'd really like it if you did wear a mask, but he doesn't overturn the law in Minnesota that stops you from wearing masks. Or if you are wearing a mask, you can get hit with a misdemeanor charge.
If you are not wearing a mask?
No, if you are wearing a mask in Minnesota, you can be hit with a misdemeanor charge. Now,
For
there are some
wearing a mask?
exemption for wearing a mask.
Wait.
There,
I feel like I'm missing something. So you're saying if I have a mask on, I can
yes,
get a misdemeanor for having a mask on.
yes, because
Okay, I just want to make sure.
there's only certain exemptions to wearing one. Like if you have a costume where it's part of the costume, like from the "I Know What You Did Last Summer" mask type of thing, or if it's part of your job, for instance, if you need it for dust protection or fumes, something like that, or if you have a medical condition where you need to wear a mask. But just every day, hey, you should wear a mask because reasons, like right now, isn't covered under Minnesota mask law. So are the cops going to pull you over or talk to you and say, hey, we're going to write you up for this because you're wearing a mask? Probably not. It'd probably end up being one of those things where if you're speeding, it might tack it on. Or if you're drunk driving, they might tack it on.
This could be fun, though. This could be so much fun because aren't we allowed to make citizens arrest in the state of Minnesota?
I believe it's only for felony and when there's great bodily harm type of stuff.
Oh, darn. Because I tell you what, going to Joann Fabric and just arresting all of the elderly women in there and holding them there until the sheriff shows up, wouldn't that be great?
Well, that would be funny. Might get you into trouble. I know I have a case where some people tried to effect a citizen's arrest, and it didn't go well for a gentleman.
Explain. I don't. Maybe I didn't hear about this. So what happened?
I haven't read up too much on it because it.
Oh, stop it! What happened?
No, I really. Look, the most reliable information I've gotten about it is Nick's stream the other day.
Hold up. Wait a minute. So let me offer this small, what am I looking for? Public service announcement, right? I am not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing solely at soda right now. So any of you haters out there, you internet trolls, that are going to watch this and say, oh my God, it's a black man, laughing at the fact that a black man was shot. That is absolutely not at all what I am doing. I am laughing at Soder because he is literally turning red right now because he's not quite sure exactly how to explain this story by which two white men with haircuts very similar to his chase down a black guy. You got the Richard Spencer do. So chase down a black guy.
Your wife loves my wife for some reason.
Talk
to her about it.
My wife feels that your wife has got to be the most wonderful, understanding, fantastic woman of all time. And so that's what my wife thinks of your wife. So, and I won't go into the reasons why she thinks that, but she just does, has the utmost love and respect for diet soda.
All right. Well, anyway,
that should make you proud.
Well, it sort of does if I didn't know she didn't like me too much.
That's not fair. She does like me. And she was actually saying the other day that she was going to have to get your wing recipe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
what did I do for those?
Yeah, so I thought that was fantastic. She wanted to get your wing recipe because she thought those were pretty amazing. So
okay, well, I guess she isn't a soderist then.
No, she's not a soderist at all. So, but she likes Katrina more than she likes you. But I think everybody does.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I have been ever since the what's his face? The guy who was pulled over in Minneapolis, St. Paul a number of years ago.
Philando Castillo?
Yes, Philando Castillo. ever since him, I've been trying to step back and go, okay, what's going on here? Like try to not have a snap judgment of just trusting the police in the matter or the winner in a gun battle. So I don't know what happened there. I wasn't there, but it seems like a stupid idea to try to arrest a guy when no one's life is in danger. The gentleman that Nick had on his stream had a pretty good point of there's a lot of cops around these days. There's cell phones. You can get pictures quite easily. There's really no need, unless someone's getting hurt, to just do a citizen's arrest for a crime like stealing, potentially stealing from someone's property. Now, and that's kind of as far as I want to go because I wasn't there at the incident and what transpired. I haven't even seen the video of it. I haven't even looked for it. But the point I was making was citizens arrests don't seem to end well these days. It's
they don't.
I mean, not for Aubrey. Is it Audrey? Aubrey or Audrey?
Yeah,
or the guys who shot him. Their lives are now shit too. So no one's won.
So I typically try not to make rash judgments about a lot of things that I see in the media, especially when it comes to these racially motivated things, because I know that there's definitely an agenda to stir up really, really bad racial tension and feelings, right? And when you have a campaign that is literally, we're all in this together, and you start to see that campaign working and people are unified and becoming unified, and you realize, whoa, well, we can't have all these people on the same side. We have to sow some seeds of discord. I'm not saying that that's what this was about, but what I'm saying is that there's a reason why it's constantly being pumped, right? I was hearing more about that than I was hearing about coronavirus or the numbers of coronavirus. I mean, that was really dominating the airwaves. I have some questions. I mean, I was joking about it a little bit. I mean, you have a black guy, and I've lived around black people my entire life, and to be really honest with you, I don't know that I've seen a whole lot of black people jogging. I just don't. Not a lot of
they're much better runners.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, just jogging for no reason. You don't see that very, very often. Okay. I'll leave it at that. But the problem that I had, and the reason why I brought that up, is that in the picture you have a guy jogging in khaki shorts. I know a lot of joggers. I'm not a jogger. Apparently our governor is, though. Did you know that, Soder?
Oh, he's a marathoner.
He's a runner.
He goes the distance.
He's all in. Okay, so but I don't know anybody who's an avid jogger that avidly jogs in khaki shorts. Just don't.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something that'd be comfortable.
No.
And things moving around, swaying everywhere,
especially
all the time.
Especially when you have a carpenter shorts at that, and you have a hammer hanging from your carpenter shorts. That's typically not a good thing either.
I hate when I run with carpenter shorts and a hammer in them.
Yeah, and a hammer hanging from it. That just, it sucks. And then on top of that, running in boots. I mean, for an avid jogger, running in boots just seems.
I can kind of understand the boot business.
Running in boots?
Well, yeah, sort of, yeah. Last spring, I think. Last spring before the big debacle.
You were running?
I was, a little bit in boots.
Who was chasing you?
No one at the time, thank goodness. But what I was doing was I was loading up a giant backpack with like 70 pounds worth of sand, and I would walk a couple miles, and part of that I would just run.
Really? And
Yeah.
so how much sand were in these bags?
Well, it's about
Like
a 70-pound bag.
a
Like
70
you'd throw in
pound
the
bag.
bed, like what you would throw in the back of a truck to keep it on the road in the wintertime.
And you're just walking down the road with a sandbag strapped to your back.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
And boots.
and boots.
Yeah.
Were you wearing a trench coat?
No. No, I was not.
Okay, so were you doing this in town or
It was out in the country. It was
out
out
in the country?
Oh yeah. No, I would not do that in the middle of town.
I didn't know if you were taking your lunch hour to strap on a sandbag to your back and just go marching around town. I was wondering about that. So
I probably
okay.
hit my face in the paper for that.
And so what do you feel like? I mean, do you feel like it helped you with endurance? Do you feel like it made you stronger? What was the desired result?
There was a little
What
bit
was
of
the result?
both, a little bit of trying to find my limits and what I could do, and also for the endurance.
So
Like I
so did you
started out.
so
Whoops,
was
go ahead.
so was the to find your to find your limits. So were you looking to test your limits for how far you could walk, or looking to test your limits for how much weight you could carry?
If I kept doing it, I probably would have been both. But I was starting out small in terms of the distance. At least what I was
Okay.
hoping was the distance.
So did you
Um,
start with 70 pounds? Like you started with, like you didn't work your
yeah,
way up there?
I did not work my way up there. Well,
Oh my gosh.
before that I was doing squats and deadlifts
Okay.
for that kind of exercise. But I thought, I probably should do some cardio stuff, but I didn't want to just do it because I had done running before to do 5Ks, and I absolutely hated that. So I was like, well, I kind of want to do something it's gonna hurt, I know, and it's gonna get me to a place where if I'm carrying a kid or two, it's gonna be not an issue. Or I'm gonna know I'm gonna be able to do it. So that was the reason for going straight to the 70-pound rucksack.
Wow. Why didn't you tell me about this? Like I saw you more last year than like the rest of the years combined. Like I saw you almost daily last year, and you never told me about the
Or
ruck.
maybe then it was the year before that. I guess, dude, like,
I
maybe it was
never.
the year before that then. It seems like it's not been that
That was the
long.
year you kicked me out of your house, right? Or was
Did I
that two
kick you
years
out of my
ago?
house?
No, not out of your yard. It was even
Oh.
worse than that. I wasn't
Oh, we're gonna tell that story now?
even. No. We don't have to tell the story.
Because we
It's
can't.
fine.
That's funny.
So yeah, so we don't have to, we could say that for another time, unless you want to tell the story, and then I can sit here and see if I remember it the same way.
If our versions match up.
Yeah, I would very much like to hear your version of the story first.
Well, this is the chill stream, so
Yeah, it's the
uh,
chill stream. We don't have an
could
agenda.
get into could get into blood sportsy if we have wildly different versions.
Well, only one way to find out.
All right, here we go. So, I believe we'd met in church before you came to my house, if I remember
passing,
correctly.
yep.
Yeah, like in the nursery, the kids you'd come, quite easy to tell who were your kids.
Yeah.
But then one day I was at the house, and earlier that day, my brother-in-law had sold a piece of heavy machinery, and he was keeping it at our place. And this big gentleman of African American variety came to buy it. He had a big truck. He was a big guy. He looked from a distance a lot like you. And we had chatted, had a good conversation, and he left and to go do his thing. And then I don't know, it was a couple hours later, in comes this this big gentleman who looked like the gentleman who was just at my house. I go, hey, look, you got to talk to my brother-in-law if you have any problems with the machinery, because look, I just was the guy who had it at his place. You figured out the whole money situation. You got to talk to him. Apparently, that wasn't the case. I couldn't tell you guys apart initially. Well, we had a good conversation about school and kids, and he didn't sucker me into buying anything from you that day, but
No, no, no. I mean, I remember thinking, what a jerk. I'm not even going to grace him with my products. So I took my, okay. So every black guy at some point has been uh, had a case of mistaken identity, right? So
yes.
and in the past it has ended worse than what it ended. So
Okay, now to be fair, how many, like, I don't know, 350-pound black guys show up at my door on the same day?
they don't dox my weight, bro.
Okay, well, I mean, you're a really big guy. You're really tall, but like, how many are gonna show up to my house on the same day within a couple hours of each other?
It,
You know,
I don't know. I don't know. I was talking to some people that knew me, that knew you, and they told me I should stop and talk to you. And I didn't know your name. We like I said, we had seen each other in passing. I recognized your face because I care, and so therefore, I always try to remember a face. And unlike your statement, all white people don't look alike to me. Okay.
really?
Yeah, no, they don't. I mean,
Because they all look alike to me.
oh, whatever. What,
No, they do.
so
They
wait
do.
a minute. So basically, there's three people, maybe four in the world. There's Asians in your mind, and they all look alike. Black people all
Mhm.
look alike. White people
Yep.
all look alike, and
Yep.
Hispanics all look alike.
Yep.
So
It's
there's
amazing I
basically
can find my wife.
so there could be 8 people in this world. Wow. Okay. Well,
I
so
mean,
so
now, don't get me wrong. Once I get to know someone, I can see their differences, right? But when I don't know someone well, and I've met them only once in passing or twice in passing, like, I don't remember them that much. And so
yeah.
to me, when I think of someone, the face doesn't come to me right away unless I've known them a while. And again, two big guys who look a lot alike, they got to be the same person, right?
Well, you still get me and Drexel mixed up from time to time. So and so does half of the stream apparently. So which he was gonna be on the show tonight, but we're gonna push that off to next week possibly. But he had some pressing matters. Anyway, so but let's back up a little bit. I'm curious now. I'm really curious because I want to meet this fine looking gentleman that bought this piece of equipment. I'm gonna have to talk to your brother-in-law and see if he still has the text or something. Because now I got to see this guy. Because like if he's like a hideous looking beast, I'm gonna be a little offended.
Okay.
He better be a handsome son of a gun if you mistook me for him. I want to.
Okay.
You know what? I got to talk to him. I got to.
Okay. You know the one, right? You know the brother-in-law?
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
There's only a few of them, so I could narrow it down. I know
It's
who.
one of
I
them
know.
that's no longer here.
Yeah, I know who it wasn't. So
Okay.
yeah. So it had to have been one of the older ones. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
You're pretty close.
I tell you, you know what? Not much gets past me, so I'm gonna have to hit him up and
Wow.
find out. Uh, yeah, what did this guy look like? Who exactly was he? Um, and see if I can at least pull up a Facebook profile or something. So, and then I'm gonna put it up for everybody to see, and we're gonna put a side by side picture, and we're gonna put it up on Twitter, and we're gonna take a poll if the
Oh
rest
dear.
of if the
Uh-oh.
rest of the followers, if the rest of the subs and the rest of the Twitter sphere thinks that this guy looks like me. That would be cool. That'd actually be a lot of fun. I'd be curious to find out how many people don't see faces. They only see black and white. Maybe you're colorblind. That's what it is.
Sure. Let's go with that. Where's my phone? I'm gonna text him right now. See if I can't get a name or a number.
Oh my goodness! So
Gosh, I wonder if he'd come on the show too. That'd be even funnier.
That would be fantastic.
I could pull a PPP.
So all right. So after this whole thing, one of the things that really bothered me is after this whole shooting. And look, I don't know the story. I don't know what happened. It's a really sad story. There's a lot of things that don't make sense to me. But I'm with you, Soder. At the end of the day, just like with the George Zimmerman thing, look, you are a citizen. You are the self-appointed, top flight security guy in your neighborhood. You see someone who looks suspicious. Maybe he was doing something nefarious. Maybe he wasn't. But you call the police. That's what you do, and that's what he did. He called 911. In the George Zimmerman case, for example, he called 911. They told him that they would get somebody out there, but that wasn't good enough for him. He decided he was going to show up and show out and flex his muscle a little bit, and a young man died as a result of it. Now, I'm not going to judge what happened, who fought who was beating whose life was in danger. I'm not here to argue that. All I'm here to say is that had George Zimmerman stayed in his vehicle and allowed the police to do their job, maybe Trayvon would still be alive today. I don't know that for a fact. Maybe the police would have showed up and the police would have shot him. I don't know. But more than likely, Trayvon would still be alive. But everybody's missing the real story here. The real story here is that we have interactions with police, for example, because this guy was a former police officer down in Georgia. In this particular situation, why they were carrying shotguns on a pickup truck, I have no idea. Why they were chasing this guy down, there's conflicting stories. But if it does not affect you and it does not affect your family, let the police do their job. I mean, why is that so tough? Why is that so hard? I mean, what are we paying the police for if we're not going to trust them to do their job?
Because we need that thin blue line, man.
But
the thin blue line that stops all the chaos.
But the thing that gets me with all of this, though, Soder, the thing that gets me is that you have those people who are, Blue Lives Matter, and I hate that. I absolutely hate it. Do I respect police officers? I respect the office. Yes, I do. But at the same time, we have a policing issue in the United States. And if black people and white people could ever come to grips with the fact that we are being over-policed and it puts all of us in danger as a result of it, I think we would be able to actually get something done. But as long as black people are out there yelling and screaming and saying that, we're being hunted down, as LeBron James said, we're this, we're that. Look, yes, there are some egregious videos out there of black people being assaulted, being beaten, being shot. Awful, absolutely awful. There's some egregious videos of white people being abused and being shot. At the end of the day, we need to stand up together against over-policing, period, point blank. But if we don't do that, nothing is ever going to change. Nothing's ever going to get done because they're going to keep turning this into a race issue. And this is not nearly as much of a race issue as it is an over-policing issue. Too much government is never a good thing. So that's my little spout about it. I know it's probably not the popular, probably not the popular opinion, but it's my opinion. So whatever. But so we actually kind of agree on it, Soder. Believe it or not.
Well,
Did you get?
Oh gosh, I don't know why. They did the right. No, we can't agree on this. This isn't compelling television. I mean, YouTubery.
So Me and Drexel had an interesting discussion back and forth about this situation. And let's just say we got to get him on here because him and I have some very conflicting opinions about the whole thing. So,
Well,
um,
I mean, I've seen him on Nick's show. I think you guys probably do. I can think of a couple topics where you guys would really differ.
maybe, maybe, maybe we'll have to see. We'll find out here soon enough. So, who won? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I got to get off here in a little bit because I got to watch that documentary.
Oh, when is that on?
uh 10 o'clock, but I'm not sure if it's 10 o'clock. It's the Clarence Thomas documentary. I'm not sure if it is 10 o'clock Eastern or Central or which one it is on PBS. I've been trying to find it, man. You cannot find it. I Soder, let me ask you this. You've considered yourself a conservative for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
Why does it seem as though conservative um conservative people of color, why does it seem like they are so often ostracized? I mean, it's like the worst thing in the world to be is a conservative person of color. Like you are attacked from every side. Why is that?
How do you mean? Like,
Why do you think
uh,
that? I mean,
from
you can
every
be
side, like conservative side. What's the attack from the conservative
so
side?
you can be white and you can be a liberal and people just accept that. You can be black and you can or white and you can be conservative and it's totally acceptable, right? Um, as a black conservative, for example,
I
you're
don't know. I
attacked.
got called a Nazi a lot this last election cycle. So, I mean,
I mean, I get that, but but when you are conservative, a conservative of color, it's almost like you are forced into the limelight. Like look at this guy. He's a conservative. He's a black and he's black. He agrees with me, and it's like, well, not we don't always agree on everything, but like so that kind of gets old after a while, does it not?
yeah, I can see how that would be. How
It
that
kind
could
of
get
it
old.
gets it gets frustrating because it's like so why why is it so hard to believe that a person with a different skin tone can believe the same thing that you believe or that I believe? And it goes back to um, that whole talk that I just said, the whole thing I just said about the over policing. That we're allowing the media to literally brainwash into believing that these people do this, these people do that. They've even done it a lot with people in rural communities. I mean, well, rural people, they're all backwoods
Um,
and they're this and they're that.
it's just rocks and cows.
Just rocks and cows, right? Um, so they've kind of tried to create this identity warfare. You know, if you live here, you eat kale and you surf all day and you're a lazy bum. You know, if you live here, you're just a backwoods redneck that probably has one tooth. If you live here, you're a prick and you're just always on the go and you don't give a damn about anyone but yourself, right? And that's not the case. Like there's good people everywhere. I've been all over the country, all over the world, and there's good people everywhere. And but I do it too. I mean, I have certain biases. I look at someone and I'm thinking, okay, this person probably believes this or acts like this or does this or and I come to find out as I get to know him, I couldn't have been more wrong. Like this guy is full of surprises. But most of the time I'm right. Most of the time I'm right. So, boy, you should have heard what I said about you when I got home that first day I met you at the house. So,
Now I'm curious. Or is that an offline discussion?
no, no, I didn't say anything about it. It was fine. It was just weird that yeah, you were like talking about this piece of equipment I bought. And I'm like, exactly what did I buy? and really, well, I could really use one of those. I wish I did buy it. So yeah, it's it was just it was funny. It was an interesting way and to go from that day to this day where we talk quite a bit, become pretty good friends. Get on here and we rib each other a little bit. But yeah, you never know where something might end. So I always treat people with
No.
kindness and respect. You never know. So
Couple things. One, Zakin to wait. I said it's at 10 p.m. Central, so you're
okay.
good there. And I got a message from Andrew Lang saying he might pop in too.
Okay.
So
Fantastic. Wait, the House is in, not the Senate, though, right?
I don't know what the Senate is right now. Also, Osmodius might call in any moment. And where's the other guy? And Magnus said he wanted to call in too.
Well,
so they both have links and they can come on whenever, I guess.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. So man, so how was the week for you? What was your main takeaway this week?
The Senate seems to be full of people who would rather work on nothing than get something done that actually will do what they want. It's been so frustrating. They've been working really hard.
Are you talking about the U.S. Senate?
I'm talking about the Minnesota Senate.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Because I guess the same could be said about either, but okay.
Yes. So they've been posting all week about how, yeah, we're passing this bill to limit the governor's ability to do stuff during peacetime emergencies. And they have that power now. They just need to pass a resolution that says, hey, your peacetime emergency's over. Bam, that's done. But they won't do it. I don't know why, other than they're lazy. Granted, the same resolution needs to pass the House too. So it's not just on the Senate to get it done. But we know it's never going to pass the House because it's controlled by the DFL, and the DFL is thinking that Walz is doing a bang-up job during this peacetime emergency. But you're not going to get a bill limiting the governor's ability to do anything in the peacetime emergency through the House, because the DFL in the House, same thing. If you pass a bill that says, hey, yeah, businesses can reopen, well, that conflicts with the governor's executive orders, and it conflicts with what the DFL thinks needs to be done right now. So either way, nothing's going to get past the House. So why not just go with the thing that you have the power to do, which is say, hey, we want to end this peacetime emergency, send the resolution over to the House and let it fail. And then guess what? Now you have something that's passed the Senate that every Republican who's campaigning for the election this year can go and say, hey, look, if I was in that seat, I would have voted for it. Please send me to St. Paul in the fall. But they don't do it. I don't know why. It's like they don't want to win. It's like they don't want to fight. I don't understand it.
Well, I would tell you exactly why. You're right. You answered your own question. They don't want to fight. They want to be gentlemen. They want to
gentlemen dueled. This isn't fighting is not just for the plebes.
It's frustrating because they get into these battles with the Democrats on a national scale. You know, Nancy Pelosi comes out of her hiding, out of her closet with a
out of her fridge
with a $3 trillion stimulus. I mean, we're throwing around the $1 trillion.
Did we throw $2 billion or $2 trillion out for that COVID stuff?
Wasn't
it like 1 billion for? Was it 1 trillion or 1 billion?
For what?
For the stimulus, the checks for families, and then another almost equal amount for business.
There's been trillions of dollars thrown around, bottom line. Another $3 trillion. And so how much do you want to bet that the Democrats are going to bring that bill in and they're going to whittle it down to somewhere around 1.5 to 2 trillion? And the Republicans are going to walk away from that thinking they won something. How much do you want to bet?
Nothing. It won absolutely nothing.
And won nothing? I mean, dude, a $3 trillion bill when we could just get everybody back to work. I mean, and the thing that bothers me is now they want to extend unemployment and the $600 deal. They want to extend that to the first of the year. Well, that's absolutely insane. You do
oh my gosh.
You do realize that once you have had people sitting on their rumps all year into the new year, you know how hard it's going to be to get people to go back to work?
Pretty hard. I mean, not just from, well, I've just done nothing. I just want to continue to do nothing to what am I going to put on my resume? I mean, and it's not like, you just couldn't find work for a while. It was, everyone's going to know, well, you got let go in around March, April 2020, and you haven't been back to work since.
Yeah.
I know things have kind of picked up a bit, or, states have opened maybe, or, whatever. So are you looking for a job now because that package ended?
I think that once it goes, then it's going to continue. We've got just within 6 months, we had the Republicans telling us absolutely not on socialism. Socialism was a bad idea and it could never work, and America would never be socialist. And then you fast forward to now, we have Andrew Lang's basic income, right? We got that sent out. I mean, that we're basically living it. And then $15 an hour minimum wage. Isn't that what, I mean, $600 a week? Isn't that basically what that comes to, is $15 an hour?
I'm not going to do the math right now.
Okay. Well,
I've
kind of done the math in my head.
Okay, good.
Okay, I've kind of done the math in my head. So if I'm wrong, someone tell me. But I'm pretty sure I'm right. So we're in a position where
Google says you're right, by the way.
Who?
Google says you're right.
Oh, fantastic. So we have gone from socialism is bad, we're never going to be socialist, to one really, really, really terrible, awful cold. And now we have adopted two of the most far left doctrines of the season: $15 hour minimum wage and basic income for all. That's absolutely insane. And you think that, when is the last time that people were given something, put on a dole, and then they gladly gave it up?
Are you asking me or Lyndon B. Johnson?
He's not. I don't know him, so I'll ask you. When is the last time people were given something and gladly gave it up?
For power, a good example might be Washington, who refused to go to run to be a president anymore.
Well, if he's a king.
And to a certain extent, a lot of presidents after him, they followed his example of not running for a third term or accepting a nomination for a third term. Hey, it's Osmodeus. Our whale has come aboard.
Uh-oh.
A lot of I think all of them up to FDR just wouldn't do a third term, and then he did it. So then everyone was like, "Hey, we can't have that. We're gonna make an amendment to the Constitution to stop that."
Wow, Osmodeus, what's going on, man?
He is muted himself. I don't know why.
What's the point?
I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to have a 30-second lead time.
I suppose.
Or
did we not introduce him the way he wanted to be introduced?
I guess not.
I guess not. Oh,
Well,
now
I
he
hope he.
left.
Oh no! I hope we didn't hurt his feelings.
Well, if he comes back, he's going to be called the boomer of all boomers. So,
Wait, what if he's younger than me? I hope he's younger than me.
well, we're not going to dox the guy, um, so I guess the world will never know. And I'm pretty sure he is younger than you, though. I'm
It's
90%.
hard to tell on the internet.
Well, that's true. That's absolutely true.
There's a lot of guys in Nick's Discord that I thought were around my age who are significantly older.
Really? So
Yeah.
there's people older than you in Nick's chat?
Well, yeah, Nick, if not for number one, but
Huh?
but yeah, Nick for number one, but also yes.
Wow, that's interesting. I would have thought you'd be in the upper echelon.
No, I am not.
That's interesting. That's wow. Huh. Now I'm surprised too. I would have definitely assumed what's the problem with being 40, Snodge?
Absolutely nothing, Walker. Absolutely not. It's just like in my mind's eye, like all these shitlords on Discord are going to be around my age, right? Even the guys who I know are younger than me, they're in my mind's eye, in the mental picture I have of them, they're around my age. So, like back at Road Rage Minneapolis, it was really weird meeting some of them because it's, oh, you are 22. I was that a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're a young guy. Did he leave again?
No.
Oh no, he's here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Pinochet is the guy you're looking for.
Pinochet?
Yeah, the guy who was an elected dictator of Chile, and he gave up his power when the people said they didn't want him anymore.
Wow.
He was the guy who's known for throwing liberals out of helicopters.
Liberals out of helicopters?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? Is this guy still alive?
No, this was a long time ago.
Man, how have you been, man? It seems like it's been forever.
It has. I'm doing all right.
Well, good. So now in the state or the place that you are, how are things going? How's the quarantine going?
I have no idea. I was telling Wales the other day, I am extraordinarily unaffected by coronavirus, both in personal life and in occupation.
Okay.
So I'll never be able to relate to hardly anyone who's actually affected by this, unfortunately.
Okay, so I don't want to get into a lot of your personal business, but I do kind of. So do you mostly work from home? Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so mostly work from home. So this working from home thing was not a it wasn't an adjustment for you.
No, nope. It's something I've been doing for a couple of years now, actually.
Okay. So do you ever miss working in the office then?
Not at all. I hate the office drama and everything that comes with it, and having people look over your shoulder. It's disgusting.
So I can't relate to the office drama thing. I mean, maybe Soder probably could, only because I have not worked in an office setting, I guess, in about 12 years now. So yeah, that would be weird. But I never thought about it as drama, though. I don't think I've ever had drama with people in the office. So, like, are you talking like people eating your stuff out of the icebox drama, or like
people snitching on you for really minor stuff in order to make you look bad in the eyes of superiors, and then like just corporate bootlicking in order to have a better chance of getting a promotion. And unfortunately it worked. Like, I'm talking super petty and stupid things. Like one of my bosses, his name was Patrick, so on St. Patty's Day everyone thought it was super funny and clever to get him like some St. Patty's Day themed gift or a really expensive bottle of alcohol that was totally supposed to just be a nice gesture and not anything with ulterior motives.
Okay. So
But he didn't like that, I take it.
No, he loved it. That's what made it awful.
So did you go with the expensive bottle of alcohol or the St. Patty's Day hat?
No, see, that's I went with work from home.
Okay, option C.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think that would bother me too. I cannot imagine being snitched on at work. So have you ever been snitched on at work?
Uh, I don't think so.
But
I kind of snitched on other people, but
oh wow. So you're the reason you're the reason why people like you're the problem. You're the reason why
the thing is, the snitching was because it was a legal problem with what they had done, so I kind of had to.
Well, I suppose if somebody commits a felony, I suppose, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't think I could actually snitch on somebody unless it was going to get me in trouble. Then I'm telling them. But yeah, if it's going to get me in trouble, I'm telling. But so you haven't been affected by it much. I mean, so what's the downside to working from home though? I mean, because right now, Osmodes, I'm actually being serious about it because there's a lot of people who are going through like major depression because they thrive on that, personal that connection with other people, which I don't feel like I need that in my life. Outside of family, I'm good. But there are people who do. I mean, was that something that you went through? Did you go from the withdrawals of not being around people?
Honestly, no. I've always been kind of a homebody. In some ways more detrimental than others. So no, I hear about people who are affected by it, and some of the new people we bring on tend to have issues, or so I've heard. But no, personally, I've not had any issues with adjusting to it. Like I said, I pretty much preferred it at this point.
So is your job pretty regimented, or is it just whenever you get your work done, as long as it gets done, no big deal? Or is it like you need to start this time, you stop this time?
So in my position, I am very much self-governing. I'm not an entry-level employee.
Right.
For them, it is.
Okay.
But for me, I just have to make sure I'm doing the work I have to at certain times, and then beyond that, I have very little supervision over myself.
So help me out with that. I mean, because I find that fascinating because not everybody possesses that in them. So how do you get yourself up to do that? How do you stay motivated? I mean, because a lot of people need that structure, need that I guess that positive peer pressure in order to keep them going. And how do you motivate yourself to go to work every day when no one's looking over your shoulder? I mean, there's no negative side to it, right? I mean, you have to make yourself go to work.
I think if I wasn't at least somewhat passionate about this job and I didn't really enjoy the people I worked with, I would have a hard time doing that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, from a distance, though, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But no, I because I do enjoy it, and I like the work that I do, and the people I work with are great. Um, honestly, I have a good time.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. So your advice to anyone who's struggling with this is get a job that you actually enjoy doing, something you find
Absolutely. And I know that's such a cliche, and everyone's more often than not just pining for whatever job they can find. But I don't know. The way I got into this position is the entry level thing I was hired for was something that I absolutely hated, but it was something I had experience in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got promoted to this position after making it clear to my superiors that I wanted it. So they tried me out, and then it worked out. So now I'm in the spot that I like. So, if you can't find the type of work that you want to do at entry level, maybe uh, look at promotion opportunities within the company, and that may mean sticking with it and trying to do the best job you absolutely can.
Wow. There's a lot to be said about that. We were just talking about this whole $15 hour minimum wage thing, and how we're living it. That's basically where we're at now. With this whole $600 a week unemployment bonus, or on top of your unemployment thing, and I hear some people talk about people just aren't being paid what they're worth, but it sounds like you're saying, hey, take the job you can get, and if you don't like that, then start somewhere and work your way up to till you get to a place where you want to be. I mean, am I putting words in your mouth?
Oh no, not at all. And there's a lot of ways to look at the $15 an hour thing. But I think if you look at it from the perspective of, if you're taking people who are coming in at the bottom floor and suddenly paying them the wages that you pay people who have, whether it be 2, 3, 4 times the responsibility, the same amount, that's not right. And if you try and adjust for wages, for everybody at that point, that business is going to have a really hard time.
I can imagine. I mean, because if you take someone who is making $9, $10 an hour and give them 15, now the person making 15, you have to pay 25. I mean, or
Yep.
make 20. Sorry.
If you want it to be competitive, yeah.
If you want to be competitive, or if you adjusted for percentage wise, then you're really in trouble. So if you're going to give everybody a 33% raise, that's going to get expensive at the top for sure. So I guess I haven't really thought about that. I guess I've always thought about it from the other standpoint, that if $15 an hour is the floor now, then just like we've seen in a lot of other states that have adopted it, now that Happy Meal, instead of being $3.99, is going to be $5.99, right? And so it really, I haven't seen, like in Seattle and some of the other states that have put that in place, it doesn't seem like people are getting ahead. It just seems like things are just becoming more expensive. Rent's more expensive, gas is more expensive, groceries are more expensive, your food is more expensive. So it doesn't seem like it's giving people a better quality of life. They just have more money coming in, but the same amount of money is going out, so they're not really getting ahead.
Yeah, of course. Now, maybe I missed it, but is that something that's becoming a thing in Minnesota?
The $15 an hour minimum wage?
Yeah.
We're on
There's some
track to
pushes.
get there. But I thought we were actually supposed to be there by 2025, was it? I think there's a tiered schedule to get there.
Oof.
Oh
If I'm not
my.
mistaken. Yeah, we're working that direction. They voted for it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we're working our way there. Magnus.
He's muted.
Oh, okay. Asmodeus, you still muted?
No, I muted myself intentionally there. Magnus, I'll give you a tip. If you're using Brave, you got to manually give the browser permissions to your mic and then close it out and restart it. I don't know why, but it worked for me.
All right, next time you come to Minnesota, Asmodeus, I'm going to sit down with you, and you're going to have to teach me how to use this whole Brave thing. Like
Absolutely. Ask Soder, half my job is IT crap.
Okay.
Even though it's not supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah, I got to figure this Brave thing out, because everybody seems to be gravitating towards this Brave deal. So,
it's kind of nice.
What's the benefit?
It's basically Chrome, isn't it?
It's Chrome without all the privacy shenanigans of Chrome.
Okay. So can I? So it's a browser, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can I download it onto my Android? Is there an
yes, they do have an
Okay.
Android version. Yeah.
and so I can run it in lieu of Chrome.
Yeah.
Okay, because right now I use like DuckDuckGo.
Yeah. I played with that for like a month and I just got too lazy to keep using it.
Okay, but if you're used to using Chrome, it's a pretty easy walkover.
Oh, for sure. There's hardly any difference if you're just a layman user.
Okay, and you would so the benefit is that the privacy, you don't have the privacy uh, issues that you do with Chrome.
Google's not accessing all of your data and forming algorithms around it.
Okay, well, that's I'm gonna have to try that out. So next time you come out here, we'll have to meet up and maybe I'll start playing around with it, I suppose. So
For sure.
I'm pretty the term boomer. Yeah, that's me. I'm not very technically savvy, so it's got to be simple. Otherwise, I don't usually figure it out too quick. So.
You're right in my field of work then, so no worries.
but I I've been talking to people who are saying, oh, you need to use a VPN, and you don't want all your information out there. And it's like, yeah, I understand why that would be a really bad thing, but what the hell's a VPN? So, yeah, just I'm learning all types of new things lately. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Were you actually asking, or?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm asking you, what is a VPN?
Oh, I don't know the technicalities of it all, but basically, it's masking your IP with a false one in order to prevent people from tracking you on the internet.
Oh, well, no one would ever track me. Why would anybody ever want to track me?
Oh, you might be surprised.
It sounds like some tinfoil hat wearing people out there.
I thought you had some run-ins with people in Texas at one point.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I've always got run-ins.
We didn't like your kind in these spots.
But I doubt any of those guys are actually hacking computers and tracking me either. So yeah, those would be the last ones I'd be worried about. So but hey, have you guys heard about this? So I've it's come up a couple of times. People have brought it up to me that the Senate voted on a bill giving the FBI the ability to check you, or to search your, or have access to your searches.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Your internet searches. Did you hear anything about that, Soder?
Yeah, I hadn't looked into it. The way the articles I had read made it sound was that they would be able to access your browsing history on your machine that they had confiscated from you.
Okay.
Which at that point I'm like, well, they already have it.
Right.
Like nothing. Right. Like, what in there is new other than a bunch of boomers who think they know how the technology works but don't really, decided they needed to write a law about. So maybe there's going to be someone who comes along who they're like, well, they purposefully deleted their browsing history. Hey, he's here.
Yeah, I had to go through my phone because I'm not. Brave is just being really annoying right now. So,
am I the only one here that's not using Brave?
No,
you're not using it. No,
you're not. I'm not using it.
Yeah,
not for this.
First time Snaj.
Well, look, I have to have a Google account to use this Google Meetings. So using Brave doesn't add anything to this experience or detracts from it. So I know I've had troubles with Brave and Google's products like Hangouts and Meet. So to save myself the trouble, I just use Chrome for it. Otherwise, I do use Brave for quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Soder's a boomer. He's the youngest boomer of all time, too.
You are complacent in the Google takeover, Soder.
Fine. Fine.
So
Says the guys
Magnus,
who got a Google account to come on here.
Magnus.
This is my YouTube account. Whatever.
Oh, so you're not part of the problem?
I am part of the resistance.
Part of the resistance. Wow. So let me ask you this. So now after you've gotten all this information and you've seen all of the predictions that were made and all the hysteria that was made be total hogwash. So if you were in the seat to make the decisions, how would you have handled this differently? This whole coronavirus thing, Osmodeus.
Considering that I don't think it's lethal enough to warrant this pseudo martial law that we're in, I don't think I would have done the thing. It's just business as usual, to be honest.
Really? So you would have just let everything stay open? You wouldn't have?
No, we never did it for any other quote unquote pandemic that we had in the past 20 years.
Wow. So you would have just allowed people to continue to go about their business. You wouldn't have introduced social distancing or any of that. You would have just said, "Hey, keep doing what you're doing."
Not at all. And I think, most of the nights when diet soda is on, it consists of my eyes being in the back of my head 90% of the time. But
Wait, what? What about my wife?
I will say that I am more in line with her way of thinking when you consider that there are ulterior motives as to why things are playing out the way they are. For sure.
There we go.
Wait. Let's go back to this part where you were talking about your eyes being in the back of your head when Diet Soda was talking. Are you talking about from a conspiracy standpoint?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I am not one to question the grassy knoll. I don't care.
Fair enough. You're not here to debate whether it is or it isn't. You just don't care.
Right. You're going to find me saying that a lot. The more and more you talk with me.
Fair enough. I can respect that. I can dig it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I just don't care. Fair enough. Magnus?
Yep.
You're there.
Yeah, sorry, I had to grab something for a second. So
No, you're good. You're good. So how have you been? How are you getting along with this whole quarantine deal?
I want to go shoot myself half the time. For the first 3 months, not going to the gym, not being able to communicate with people like face to face, made me go kind of insane. Until I got to the point where I've just accepted the insanity.
Okay, so this is fantastic. So we have Osmodeus, and Osmodeus is like, this is not affecting me at all. I'm not down with hanging out with a lot of people. I'm kind of a homebody, and I like my solitude. And then the very next guy is like, I want my people. I want to be around people. I want to be socialized. Am I hearing that correctly, Magnus?
Yes. It's more of the social interaction that I need. And like I'm a mixture between, I don't mind being by myself, I can do it, but I need to do something.
So what
outdoor activities?
So what are you doing tonight? I mean, so you're just, obviously you're here, but ordering food in, just watching some Netflix. So what are you up
Mostly
to?
Mostly just reading.
Just
reading and probably studying for a couple of tests.
Okay, so what would you have been doing had this never happened? What does a typical Sunday night look like for Magnus?
Partly this.
Okay.
But
so
I want the option. That's the biggest thing. I want the option, and I may not always interact with people, but I still need it at times. Like going to school, going to work, meeting with people is really important.
Okay.
Just because it's harder to do through like Zoom or through meetups.
So so you're in school now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so with that, how do you like this this schooling from a distance thing? Some people love it, some people hate it.
Half my classes were already online anyway, so it's like
So it didn't
nothing
change
really
much.
changes.
Okay. But you just don't like being told you can't go out and do this. That so you like to have the option to be around people if you want.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I get that. So in the state that you are in, which
I'm in the same state as you guys.
that's what I thought.
Minnesota.
I just didn't want to. I didn't want to. If you didn't want to answer that question, I didn't want to put it out there. So I mean, so what is it that you want to do outside that you can't do right now? I mean, you can go out to the
Go
park.
to the gym. It actually use this service for indoor skydiving.
What?
Did it as a family one time. Yeah, they have one in Richdale.
Indoor skydiving.
Yeah.
Soder?
You've never heard of this, or you're asking, should we go?
I'm saying I need that in my life. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a blast. Osmodeus?
I've seen it once or twice.
Are you
Yeah.
down to do you down to go with us?
For sure. Yeah.
You were in town at one time before. That would be fantastic. We could just rent the place out for the afternoon and just have a skydiving extravaganza. I'd be totally down with that.
Yeah, it's really fun.
So
You just have to wait.
Now
You just
I
have to convince them to ignore walls, or wait until walls ends this.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
Because Q has never. I don't think he knows what this is. When you're imagining this, Q, what is in your mind for indoor skydiving?
They shrink you like in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids,
Yeah.
and then they take you up to
It's
the
more
ceiling.
like that Mission Impossible.
Okay, so I guess I'm big fans, like the big fans that are like basically extending you in the air, like, and you're wearing like a sail or of some sort, something that that essentially extends your surface area. So the
Oh,
wind.
man.
So what you wear is
You
a
get a gold star.
jumpsuit and a helmet.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I think it'll be fun. My wife is an adrenaline junkie, and so she's always wanted to go skydiving. This sounds like a safer option than actually jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. So,
Yeah, but it's probably not the same adrenaline, though, because the adrenaline comes from you don't know if your chute's going to open.
yeah, but you know the difference, though? I've never heard of anybody dying indoor skydiving.
Yeah, but it's
Quick, Google it.
My statement is still true. I've
no,
never
I know it's true. I'm just saying that it's probably not the same kind of adrenaline she's seeking, though.
So
Right?
so I get it, but at least I can meet her halfway, right? I mean,
Sure.
Well, it's a safer option.
there you go. It's a safer option. She can get, she can take some pictures and we can say we did and don't. So yeah, I like that idea. Totally down. Because, that wondering if your parachute is going to open, it's all fine and dandy if it actually opens. But if it doesn't, well, that really sucks. Because now I'm left with the kids by myself, which would be
Aim for a bush, not for water.
okay. The wisdom is flowing from Osmodeus today.
Random things you learn when you work from home and you're on the internet all day.
Fair enough. So are there bushes in the in this tube or whatever it is that you are indoor skydiving in?
No, but I've seen ones where they'll have I don't know, some sort of event where they'll throw money in the tube with you, and
Okay.
you try and catch as many like $1 bills as you can, and then you get to keep them as you're in the tube and they're flying around you.
Nice. I I was talking to a guy who actually does skydive a couple weeks ago, and he does it quite a bit. And he said you never want to go through a cloud when you're skydiving. And I thought that, I mean, I don't know. I just assumed that was kind of the point of it. And he's like, no, no, you want to avoid the clouds. He said, in fact, you can actually get into trouble for going through clouds. And I was really surprised by that. So he said it hurts. He says basically getting pelted in the face by frozen droplets of water or even just droplets of water. Said it's painful, and he said it. But I never thought the things you learn just having a conversation with somebody. I would have thought, yeah. I mean, I would have been like, I'm going to bust all the clouds I possibly can on the way down. So I would have been all about it. But I guess you can't. So what's the point? If I can't go and bust the clouds, I'm not jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
Sounds like even more fun. You just got to get geared up in like some motorcycle padding and punch through all the clouds that you can.
Yeah, and not get electrocuted.
And not get electrocuted. I guess that would. I'd be like, hey, babe, you want a thrill? Jump through that really dark cloud right there. Hits green. Yep, jump. Yeah. So now you got to wonder if your chute's going to open, and you got to wonder if you're going to get electrocuted at the same time. So, man, I was watching this deal a couple weeks ago, and there was a guy, Soder, that has been struck by lightning 3 times. 3 times. I finally.
Well, unlucky guy.
Can you imagine? And one of the
God
times,
really hates him.
and one of the times he was indoors.
What? How does that work?
I don't know, but yeah, he's been struck by lightning 3 times, and one of the times he was actually indoors.
This sounds like some sort of article that was emailed around between a bunch of people in the early days of the internet. I don't know if I buy this.
Well, it was actually, there was a show on TV. I mean, of course, we're in quarantine, so we're watching all this stuff. There was a show on TV, and they were actually talking about the science behind it and some chemical makeup in his body that attracted electricity or something. It was weird, but yeah.
Wait. So wait. So you're telling me that there's actual scientific studies saying that people can have an effect on electricity, and we could conclude that same type of thing could have effects on their computers? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
I feel like you're trying to lead me into something here.
No. Just because there's people I've worked with who doesn't matter what we do, they always have a problem with computers. And no, and she's one of them. She's one of them that have problems with computers. She's one of them. I give her a brand spanking new computer. It's working just fine. I hand it off to her. A couple weeks later, something in the operating system's corrupted. I have no idea how she does it, but she does.
She dropped it, and she doesn't want to tell you.
Maybe.
It might be the fact that she's a conspiracy theorist and she spends a lot of time on the dark web. I hear you can pick up things there.
I'm not sure which is worse.
I'm not here to judge. I'm overturning all rocks here. So, but back to Magnus though. So I was interested in talking to Osmodeus because, obviously there are a lot of people who are, I mean, my father's in healthcare, my sister's in healthcare, and they're not getting many people come through with COVID, but they are getting a lot of people coming through, with anxiety attacks. They're getting people that are coming through substance abuse or attempted suicides just because they are just in a really, really bad mental place because they're lacking social interaction, and they're not used to that. And so a lot of people are turning to substance abuse and those types of things. So, and obviously you're not doing those things, Magnus, but Osmodeus was he very honest with us. Hey, this doesn't affect me very much because I'm still doing what I was doing and I haven't lost anything, which is a great place to be. But it's kind of cool to talk to somebody. The very next person we talk to is seeing it from a little bit different standpoint of, I kind of miss that social interaction. So once this is all over, what is the very first thing that you're going to do that you've been missing to do?
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym. And
Yeah.
is that the gym with the indoor skydiving deal?
No.
Okay, so just go pump some iron. That's the first thing you're gonna do.
Yes.
Fair enough. All right. So I was thinking like something a little bit more eventful, but maybe for you that is the most eventful thing you could do.
Well, probably go to Road Rage. I was planning on actually going to it when this whole coronavirus kind of started. I was down south in Florida when it kind of started, and I decided, I'm coming back home early from spring break. I have enough money to go to LA for this event that may or may not happen. Okay. And I'm going to go weigh the risk of getting the virus or not. Unfortunately, the government decided to be the government and cancel everything.
Okay. So I asked Osmodeus the question, with the information he has now, seeing the way things have played out, seeing that the models were crap, it has not been nearly the death rate or the mortality rate that they said that it was going to be.
Because we locked everything down. Everyone stayed home.
Yeah, don't you care
that's
about
why?
grandma?
That's why 70,000 people aren't dead right now, Quentin. Because everyone stayed home like they were supposed to.
But it's
for the sacrifice.
We did such a good job.
Not Minnesotans. Yeah, we got scolded by our governor. We went from an A to a D, and all I could say is D's are passing. So whatever.
Oh God, I hated that speech so much. It was full of nothing. Then said, "You know what? I'm gonna give you guys a privilege to be Karens and snitch on you."
So, but the information has been shoddy. It's been faulty, and what frustrates me is that we have continued to move the goalposts. Right? Originally, this whole thing, we don't have enough PPE or PPE.
Yeah,
we sorry, I was had to keep
going.
We don't have enough PPE. We don't have the ventilators. We don't have the emergency or the ICU beds. We're just not ready for what this virus is going to be. We need you guys to shelter in place while we ramp up our abilities, and we need to flatten the curve. Well, I haven't heard anything about flattening the curve here in the last probably 2 weeks. Obviously,
well, that's because they moved it to we got to create a vaccine.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now everything is about, well, we can't open things up until we have a vaccine. So I right before I got on, I had a friend of mine that was talking to me, and he said he was watching Alex Jones, which was probably the first mistake. But anyway, he said that President
well,
Trump,
technically, that man is a prophet. Okay.
Oh boy, Osmodeus, do you want to say it or should I?
The frogs were indeed becoming gay.
So is that the prophecy? The gay frogs, Magnus?
That's the one that's been proved.
Yeah, it's the one that's been proven. But going to this whole thing with changing the goalposts. So originally, I became aware of this, and I got really into this in December and January. I was really, really worried, especially with China. We're seeing all that stuff, and this is kind of bad. Then come to February, I'm still kind of worried, but okay. But when it starts hitting us, I'm thinking about it again, and I'm listening to a couple of people say, well, it's worse if we shut down. Supply chains get ruined. Basically, the economy collapses. We can't produce anything to protect ourselves. And I thought to myself, we screwed up. Basically passed the Rubicon in January and February by listening to China and believing what they said. So no matter what happened, when everyone got the virus, well, it's already too late. So you have to go make a decision. What's more important? Keeping society and the economy going, or grandma?
And what would your choice be?
Obviously, grandma.
Obviously.
Well,
right?
both grandparents are dead, so. But I would
obviously
say
it's
the
grandma.
economy.
So he's like, that's kind of messed up. What about my grandma though?
I don't know your grandma.
For me, I got to be morbid on this, where it's like they probably had a good life, lived long enough. Time for the newer generation, and you got to look at the pros and cons. Or you could have just shipped them off to Iowa, and put them in detainment camps, let this whole virus pass.
So
utilitarian Magnus, where have you been?
Wait a minute. Magnus, please tell me you're not in college for political science and you have absolutely no aspirations whatsoever of ever getting
I thought about it before one time.
Oh, God.
But I'm not.
Do it.
Oh, man. Oh, you're going to march grandmas off to concentration camps. You're an awful person.
Hey, no, we're doing the FDR right.
Hey.
Keeping them in retainment camps so they'll be safe.
They are already in long-term care facilities. That is practically a camp.
Well,
they're already there.
I mean, technically, you're right, Snaj. I mean, look what happened in New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Is this going to be a cookie joke for old people now?
No, I'm actually being very serious about, like, they were sending people that had the coronavirus, and they only sent them to nursing homes.
Yeah, that was Cuomo's. That was his answer, is to send them to long-term care facilities.
If you think about it, how else are you going to quarantine? I mean, I don't know. It gets into, like Magnus said, and I make the joke about being utilitarian, but if this were actually like a real pandemic that we all had to like be crapping our pants over, you would have to take some utilitarian measures in a totalitarian fashion, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
man. And you don't have any political aspirations either, do you, Osmodeus?
No, I like my job.
Okay, good.
Well, as soon as I can be a work from home senator, maybe.
Hey, that's what they're doing now.
Yeah, you just need to buy that $3,000 fridge.
Hey,
I'll tell you
guys. The Minnesota filing date is June 2nd. You still could run. You could put it into you could get on the primary ballot.
Oh man.
Magnus.
So Magnus
has my vote.
I want to know, Magnus, if you were to run, I know you thought about it. What would your campaign slogan be?
Oh, please be rip and tear until it is done.
You know, I would say something like that, or y'all need God.
You're omitting a word there.
Y'all need God.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Can't use Drain the Swamp. Can't use Mega. I mean, half of the senators are heathenistic people that are like to screw over everyone and suck up to China. So
y'all need God.
Magnus is going to bring about the theocracy that we need.
Oh yeah.
Wait, he's the catalyst to the Handmaid's Tale?
What kind of shows are you watching, Soder?
Yeah, right.
Well, ironically enough, I've turned to also hate the government half the time, so it would be very weird for me.
The sad part about it is, okay, I have to be honest. I was going to say praise me, but I thought, no, I'll be giving myself up. So we have lives. We have to watch other things at times. We can't watch anime all the time, right, Soder?
No, it stays on all the time.
It stays
all the time.
That's why he has a third screen going all the time.
I'm watching anime right now.
Yeah, he's watching little Cowboy
Cartoon
Bebop.
Network and Nickelodeon doesn't count, Snaj.
He's probably watching The Last Airbender.
Oh,
That's highly offensive. That's even more offensive than the furry that someone drew Nick as earlier
don't
today.
knock that one,
Oh.
please.
That was
Gross.
that was pretty good. Oh,
See, this is
Corona,
why we need Magnus's theocracy.
I'm not sure. Now
wait,
I
Oswald,
wonder. They drew him as a raccoon, as a coon, if you will.
Oh no, that's the same persona as the 8chan dude. Nick should be very salty about that.
Well, at least he's not a deer.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. I don't want to go into that, Magnus.
Okay, so real quick. So Corona says Care Bears. So he's banking on Care Bears. So
Oh,
all right,
it's
so
never gonna go away.
So what would your campaign slogan be?
Me?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all be stupid.
I like it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I tell you what, y'all could run together, get on the same ticket. Y'all, I'm gonna let y'all be stupid, but y'all need Jesus. I'm sorry, y'all
need register for the House of Reps.
I'm gonna let y'all be stupid.
Or the House of Reps and Senate if you're in the same district. And then in 2 years you can run for governor.
See, here's the sad part. I'm not in Minnesota, so it's all on Magnus's shoulders.
There's nothing sad about that, man. You are.
This is true.
You are not.
I don't know. My state isn't that much. It doesn't have much better of a reputation.
I'm trying to think. Now we have to guess which state it is. Then
I'll give you one hint. I'm okay with it being out there. We are renowned for our corrupt governors.
Oh, you're in Illinois, huh? Okay, that was simple. When is the last time y'all had a governor that didn't wind up in the pokey?
I have no idea. I think we're trying the previous incumbent. I don't even know anymore.
How the hell of all the people that were able to get a get out of jail free card, how did Blago get one?
Oh, you're going back years, man. That was before I even started paying attention to politics.
No, Trump just gave him a pardon. Blagojevich.
Oh, man.
The guy yeah, the guy who tried to auction off Barack Obama's Senate Senate seat. He tried to auction it off to the highest bidder because he was going to because it was vacated. He was going to have to appoint somebody, and so he was taking bids on it. So I mean that seems kind of messed up in my opinion, my humble opinion. But yeah, that's the guy that Trump decided he was going to give a pardon to. That's I just wondered. I mean, of course, we trust all things Trump, of course, but
no, that's why stuff like that. Why I jumped off the Trump train last year.
You said what, Osmodius?
So stuff like that is why I jumped off the Trump train last year.
You jumped off in 2019?
Yeah.
He was still winning though.
Not with, there are only so many times I can say, you know what, okay, he's being a little goofy, or he made a slight mistake here, or, why are you all whining about Covfefe? It was obviously a typo, let's get over it. But when we get into stuff like wind turbines are giving you cancer, there's nothing I can do. I can't defend that.
Well, you don't have a security clearance like he. What if they are causing cancer?
Bye.
I mean, come on. We already know that water can make frogs gay, and fluoride in water can make Gay.
The fluoride.
Yeah, so I mean that's been proven. So is it such a big leap to think that some spinning turbines could like lull somebody into a state of cancer or a cancerous state?
Well, I mean, I turn the fan on whenever I take a poo, and I haven't gotten cancer yet, so I don't know.
No, see now he just called a wind turbine a fan. See, we gonna learn this young man something, Soder.
Sorry, I've been a little distracted here. I have a buddy talking to me about the Minnesota GOP's having a Q&A about their failed convention this last weekend, and he's giving me some details about it.
Failed convention.
So, yeah, the Minnesota Republican state convention was on Saturday.
I used to be involved with something like that at one point in time. So.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Well,
yeah.
So I log in. We're doing it remotely, and log in, get everything ready, and time to start comes, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, we're having some problems with credentialing people. We're gonna be starting soon here." About 10:30, they go, "Hey, the thing we're using for voting, it seems like people are hacking it or DDoSing it or something. Our provider is trying to fix it. We'll get started here shortly." About 11 o'clock rolls around. They're like, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna have to postpone until 1 o'clock now because they need to do some more stuff." Okay, fine. I come back, and by the time I get back at around 1:15, when they said they were going to start again, they've gone, "Hey, yeah, this thing's even bigger than we thought. We have to cancel the whole thing." So
What?
now they canceled the state convention because the voting system they were using apparently got DDoSed.
Oh wow! So after all that talking that they did about the Democrats and their in the Iowa caucus,
Yeah.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
And I want you all to keep that in mind.
So I had him ask, like, why not just ask him why not just do it in person, because we have to do it by June 2nd for nominating candidates. Why not just do it in person if none of these solutions, they'd have to roll out some solution in like less than 10 days. Well, 13, because it'd have to be on a weekend for people to actually attend. Like, just do it in person. Like, we all know how to do that. Let's just do that. Let's dare Walz to do something about it. Oh, and now apparently boomers are asking if their phones are infected from a DDoS to a third party.
I don't know what else to say, Snosh.
I just want, like, again, this is like with the Senate. Like, just do it. What is Walz going to do? Arrest representatives from the other party? Like, just imagine the optics of that. What?
That slogan's taken already. You can't use that slogan. Just do it.
That's just okay. Fine.
I feel like the DFL is out politically the right. But you were going to say, Osmotis, you said keep this in mind when?
Oh, keep this in mind, because I will bet hard money that this election cycle, if they keep coronavirus crap going on for as long as it sounds like they're going to try and do online voting for the presidential.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't take that.
You already had some people try to push that through the bill. What was it? Pelosi did it?
Yeah.
Or was it in California?
Absent. Yeah.
If that happens, there is no way you are ever going to be able to verify the results of an election ever again.
Yeah.
No, there is one way. You can do it through blockchain.
Shut up, Magnus. No.
Oh my gosh. I have even more problems.
How is a for the boomers in the room? How is a Bitcoin going to help voting?
So blockchain is basically electronic ledger.
I know, man. It was my attempt at a joke. So sorry, it didn't work. I'm sure other people got it. But
hey, you know what, Q? For once, you knew something I didn't. So
yeah, no, I watched a couple documentaries on the whole decentralization of banks and currencies, and yeah, I had to learn what a blockchain was because they were throwing around words that I'd never heard before. This was about 3 years ago. So so I was I would just like to keep it the good old fashioned way, Magnus, if you're okay with that. I just want a piece of paper. I color in the circle and put it in my machine and go from there. So
I would love that too. I'd also like to have us show our IDs.
You're a racist, man. Don't you know that black people are too dumb to go get and don't have internet, so they can't go and get a driver's license? How racist are you? That's messed up.
Well, considering I'm part Irish and part Italian, I guess I'm pretty racist.
Oh, I thought you're okay, man. Oh, I'm so glad you didn't go where I thought you were gonna go. The last guy that started off with that went on to tell me how I needed to shut up because black people were treated way better than Irish people were. So yeah, I thought that was the direction you're gonna go, and I was about to tell you to shut up too, just like Osmodius did a couple minutes ago. You heard that, right?
No, I must have missed that one.
Oh yeah, Osmodius.
Shut up, Magnus.
I just wanted to make sure that you heard it. So, but guys, I am so thankful to have you guys come on. I appreciate it. I am about to go and eat supper. I just got the wave in, and I'm gonna do that before this Clarence Thomas deal comes on. So I'm gonna check that out. That looks like, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of a nerd for those types of things, but if you guys want to nerd out with me, definitely check it out. I'll probably be putting some info on the Discord about it too, so you guys can follow along with me. Have like a watch party. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Soder, let's do it. Let's do a Clarence Thomas watch party.
Well, is it going to be streaming? I mean, we could do that right now.
I don't know. Figure it out. Let me know.
Yeah, copyright strike.
Oh my gosh.
Just eat it.
Oh, I'm joking. We can watch it. We can live chat about it in the Discord. But hey, you guys have a fantastic night. Hey, Magnus, keep your chin up, man. I know this is an interesting time. It's a frustrating time, if nothing else, being locked up. I'm kind of like to keep moving, and I definitely don't like being told what to do. So I get your pain, Osmodius. I'm glad that you're just trucking along and continuing life as it was. That's cool. I mean, that really is cool. I mean, it reminds us all, hey, if you're not in the position you want to be, only you can control your destiny. Get in the position you want to be. That's a great. I took that away from it, and I think that's a great way to look at things. So, you guys have a great night. Thanks for coming on. We'll have to do this again, and I will see you guys shortly in the Discord.
Sounds good.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Good night.
Night, everyone.